Well, I haven't uploaded much on my fish channel, and that's mostly because nothing much has really happened to warrant a actual upload for me. But right here, I have a heap ton of angelfish fry. They're currently housed in a very empty 20 long. Reason being because I'm going to be moving this 20 long out into the living room. When I gave the angelfish are in this tank, I still kept the red-tailed shark. I gave the angelfish I had in this tank to Worlds Underwater. They're gonna rehome them. I kept the spawn that's in here because I want to grow them out myself. And then I'll be giving the spawn to a Worlds Underwater too, down the low when they actually get bigger. So where am I going to keep these little guys? Why I shut this? Since this tank's going to be shut down. Give me a second. There we go. I'm going to be keeping them in this tank here. This is my 10-gallon tank that's housing my betta fish fry and my guppy fry. I think I might actually move my guppy fry into the 20 long when I set it back up. But I got this little but I forget what this is called, the little fry basket. I'm gonna put the fry in this little fry basket and grow them out for a little while. And once they get to a certain size where I feel like they won't be attacked in this tank, most likely by the time I'm done moving all my bettas out of this tank, which will be in like the next month or two because I'll need to start separating them, I'll be able to let the let the fry run free. I actually don't remember if I showed this off or not, but Blake and Son have this 20 long to themselves now. And they're actually going, and they actually did a nice little spawn right here. So can't wait to see how big this batch is going to be from these two. But considering they're in a bigger tank, it's probably going to be a pretty big spawn. Also, I know this doesn't look like much, but I just got gigabyte internet. This is my new Ethernet switch. So now when I actually go to edit these videos together and then upload them, I won't be sitting for 3 hours waiting for it to upload. This video is probably going to be like maybe like 3-4 gigs in total since I'm recording with my DSLR. And it'll most likely take no more than 1.5 to 2 minutes to upload this video. So they had the ability to upload a video within literally a few seconds to a minute after rendering out the video is really nice. I also went and shut down the 5.5 gallon tank that was in my bathroom here. The only tank I have in here now is White Knight's little White Knight's little 2.5. And as you can tell, White Knight's doing very well for himself. I just got done doing a water change and a small tank cleaning, so he's nice and happy. And now I have a lot more room in my bathroom to actually store stuff and whatnot. So like I was trying to say before the battery just decided to abruptly die on me, this is where I'm going to be putting the 20 long tank again. I'm not going to be doing any hang on the back filters because that's where I ran into problems. It will be all powered by my all the filtration will be done by my sponge filters. So basically these guys are getting upgraded from a 10 gallon all the way to a 20 long. It'll give a few of these fish that are going to get really big or bigger some more growing room, while giving my 2 female bettas more space to just be bettas and stop being jerks to each other. I even moved my red-tailed shark into this tank too, so that's where he's currently hiding. Also, my flower horn now has a 30-gallon tank to himself. And his knot has gotten really big since I put him in here too. And of course, the new filter I got is also doing just fine. Got another filter here. Generally speaking, he's pretty much good to go for now. So now I'm going to drain this tank. By maybe half or something, and then find a place to set this thing so it can still be heated while I actually just go through the whole process of moving the 20 long onto here and everything else and getting that set up, because that's going to take a good hour, because that's going to take a good couple hours. Alright, so I've temporarily moved them from the hutch to the kitchen. I've pretty much just moved what I had to the side. I also got to rebuild the sponge filters, or not rebuild them, but basically replace the filter and the carbon and the sponge filters from the 20 long. That way, so they get fresh new filters. And I'm going to keep the filters out in here as is, because they're pretty much still clean and good to go. But as you can tell, I also didn't fill the tank up all the way, because this tank's going to be shut down most likely tomorrow. So just give them just enough water so the air filters can do their job and the heater can stay submerged. They'll do just fine like this for probably like 12 hours or so before I move them. Okay, I got it figured out for the most part. I'm going to still wait for my father to get done with whatever he's doing before I actually start filling it. I want to make sure this is proper. So with the way I have this thing set up, I'm going to have a placement for a 5-gallon here and a 5-gallon here if I need to. Though I think that might be stressing this hutch, but I don't know. I'll just talk to him in the end. But I'm pretty sure the way I have it now, it's pretty much the way it needs to be. Also got a case of cute put. It requires love and affection. Hey put. Oh, it's a little put. Cute little put. It's a cute little outdoor put. And it has no idea what to think. Well, the tank is now set up. I'm going to let it run all night, and I'm off to bed. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to show how the fry are doing in their new little net. This is as many of the fry I was able to save, and there's quite a few in here actually. They're all strewn throughout the actual little net, as you can tell, and I'm having a real hard time doing manual focusing because the LCD screen on this thing is not exactly the the pixel density on the the camera on this thing. The preview screen is pretty garbage, so I'm trying to figure out how to properly focus. But yeah. I got a lot of little fry in this tank, this little holder, so it's going to do its job. Also, speaking of fry, I might as well give an update on my betta fish and whatnot. And let me zoom in again. Since this camera doesn't do auto zoom and whatnot, I gotta do everything manual. But this is how my betta fry are doing for the most part. I haven't seen them go after each other yet, so I don't have to completely start worrying, but I know that day's going to come when they're going to start going after each other. One thing is sure, they're definitely cool. The colors are definitely unique. Cannot wait to see what they look like when they actually get full grown. So yeah, now I'm off to bed. Once I focus this thing in properly. Alright, so I'm sitting here getting my tank all reset up. I'm currently in the process of rebuilding the little piece I have right here to stop the water from splashing over and whatnot. Basically this. It turns out somehow through all of that commotion that I had going through this tank and letting it sit for however long it was sitting, I still somehow have a living angelfish fry in this tank somehow. So now I got somehow grab it out of this tank and put it in with the rest. I have no idea where it is right now, other than I just know it went behind that betta cup. That is really amazing that through all that, this tank literally having no water. This tank literally having no water, just a little, just like about like a 1 gallon or so, just on the bottom. I still have a fry that's alive to this day in this tank. When I thought what I did would kill the ones I couldn't get out. So apparently there might be another one or two in here if I can see if there's already one still alive in this tank. Interesting. Well, I now got the 20 long more or less set up in the way I like it. So now all I gotta do is just scoop up the fish, put them in here for acclimation, and put them in. And of course, here's everyone. They're kind of freaking out, so I'm gonna make it a little bit more worse for them by putting them into this little 1 gallon tank and trying to net them. So that's gonna be fun upon itself. Well, the fish have been in their little holding container waiting to acclimate, and I'm pretty sure they're ready to be released. They've been acclimating now for about an hour or so, and now to release them. And I'll come back in about 2-3 hours after everyone more or less figures this tank out. There is one more fish I forgot to add to this tank. It's this silver catfish. I actually don't know what it's actually called, but I knew a while back when I was probably like 11 or so and only had a 5.5 gallon tank. I had one of these in a 5.5. Now this is when I was incredibly newbie and YouTube wasn't even a thing. So he's gonna go into my 20 long now. Of course I'm gonna let him acclimate for a little while before I actually release him, of course. He actually came out of this little 3 gallon I had him in here temporarily. I just got done doing a water change, so that's why it's really nasty and grimy. I'm gonna do another secondary water change to get what I missed. And also do a final cleaning on the glass again. The reason why it's green is because I just got done scrubbing a heap ton of algae off the glass. I missed some, as you can tell right here, but generally speaking I just need to do another water change in a little bit. I'm going to do another water change in probably like 2-3 hours or so. And then this tank will be good for about 2 weeks or so before I need to do anything. Alright, now it's time to release my catfish into the tank. And there he goes. And right into hiding. Yep, he's gonna figure this tank out before anything else. But it looks like everyone's doing just fine now. Also, I got myself a new tripod too, so that's just getting a little better. Everyone's still checking everything out. My 2 bettas are being bettas at least. Seems like at least one of my angelfish is out and about. Got a few back here too. Still. Kinda stinks this DSLR doesn't do always auto-focusing on videos. It'll make life a lot more easier for me, but for $300 digital camera that I initially got for astrophotography, I'm very happy with this DSLR. I just wish it could do always auto focusing on whenever I'm recording videos. What you want? Yeah, I can't really do this bright. And they're still figuring things out. I'll come back in about a few hours with a final update on this tank. Or at least an update for the whole video. Also, my fire horn. Alright, so it's been a few hours and I thought I'll end this video here with showing how the tank is doing. And generally speaking, it looks like everyone's doing just fine. Give me a second to zoom in. And more or less, everyone's just still checking the tank out. My angelfish seem to like it. Of course, that angelfish right there is one of the ones that I've been growing since birth, and I'm very, very happy with how well it's looking. And then of course there's Spot. I don't know where my other one is. He's hanging out somewhere. I saw the red-tailed shark earlier, or just passed by or whatever. There's one of my little red eyes. There's another red eye. Zebra Danio. Generally speaking, everyone's doing just fine. Also, I saw the catfish is also doing fine too. I'll probably do an update video maybe in about a week or so how this tank's doing, even though this video's only going to get like what, 3 views, but still.